progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz, a.k.a. Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with, as always, Joseph Huggie, a.k.a. Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 105th. That's 105th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Welcome, motherfuckers. What's going on?
What's up, man? How are you?
Never been better. How are you?
Good, man. It's been a long, what, today's Monday? It still feels like it's already been a long week. So that's good. We're off to a great start.
Word. We just got done watching the Jets win in overtime over the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
Very exciting for me.
Punt return. I texted, I was like, okay, well, once this game's over, because it's going to overtime, it's probably going to be longer. And then it was, pretty quick drive and then a punt return touchdown. I went back downstairs and walked into it's like, oh, he makes a cut. I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, shit was over quick.
Shit was over. Wild. Crazy.
Yeah, Allen just,
Imploded.
choked.
Imploded.
He was like, what happened? Was that Allen? Or is his body double or what?
Well, he threw those 3 picks. He's kind of
the
like
same guy. He threw 4 picks, I thought.
He's like
they had 4 turnovers.
Well, he looks like Chris Pratt. Like if Chris Pratt was a football player.
Okay, he threw 3 picks and he also fumbled it.
Yeah, well, then the fumble, which was just as bad, and he got stuck on that play too. I think sometimes
he got hit so many times.
I think he just tries too hard sometimes.
But not in good situations. Like in the beginning of the game, he was running and tried to jump in the air, and he got hit twice in the air for a 7-yard run. It's like, bro, you're the franchise.
Yeah, but he's big, and he's like, I'm a big motherfucker. This is what I do. So he's just wild like that.
Well, he just lost to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out Garrett Wilson.
Lost to Zach. Well, he lost to Zach Wilson.
Well, I beat Zach Deaton. That's right, you bitch. Actually, the league that I'm in with, it's 10 guys. It's all Dallas fans besides me. Joseph knows all these guys that are from high school. We've been playing for 12 years. So on ESPN, they'll show you the history, in more detail now. And it shows me my toughest opponent, and it was Zach Deaton has beaten me 14 out of the 17 times we've played each other throughout 12 years.
Damn.
I know. I was like, I was like, I'm immediately asking the commissioner to file a case on this disinformation. But anyways, I played him this week 1, and spanked his ass by 50 points. Woo! ESPN projected my team was the worst in the league right after the draft. So I had the worst draft according to ESPN. And then now I moved from 10th to 2nd. I didn't change any of my players.
Well, it's been a week.
I know.
It's been a week. It's one week.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our therapy questions for the day. Therapy question number 1. Joseph, would you flip a coin if heads means you instantly receive 10 billion with a B dollars, and tails means that you die instantly?
Now, I always call heads whenever I flip a coin. I'm a heads guy. Stay away from tails. Tails always fails.
But I'm getting head and tail like a quarter.
But I wouldn't flip the coin. No way.
Yeah, me neither.
No, there's no way.
Nah.
Now, if it was
not.
you get $10 billion or you lose an arm, maybe.
Obviously.
That'd be cool. Then
10 bill can buy you like 8 arms.
because I would do.
Become an octopus.
Well, no, like if you win, you get to keep both your arms and you get $10 billion. If you lose
Oh
an
yeah,
arm.
yeah. You're right.
Yeah, then I'd still probably do it because then I'd donate myself to science or something. I'd go to like Boston Electronics, be like, hook me the fuck up, dude. Make me like give me a cyborg arm. I would decide up for something.
Then you'll be my sworn enemy.
Maybe that's it. I flip a coin, like on some Harvey Dent Two-Face shit. I lose $10 billion. They take my
Don't lose it.
Well, no, I do because if I flip the coin, I get it, so it's there.
Right, but you're not going 10 billion into debt. You don't have 10 billion on the line.
Well, I lose the opportunity to have $10 billion. Get my arm chopped off. Go see a crazy like street vendor, robotics doctor. He gives me an evil robot arm. That's the beginning of my villain arc.
That's right. And then I'll have to be the superhero because we have the backstory of used to be best friends, host a podcast together. Now sworn enemies.
Yeah, now
mortal enemies.
Then all of a sudden, he lost his arm in a coin flip.
And it makes sense because you being the villain because you're black and me being the hero because I'm white.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. I think that's how they would write it. I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
I mean, but I would be like anti-hero, so I would have like a redemption episode, but I'd always be still doing bad stuff. Like, but you would be the hero for sure because I'm black. So they'd be like, "Hey, look, like he's cool. We let him come around, but be careful. Lock your doors. Make sure he's out of your house. Not by 10."
Yeah.
It's possible.
The first black robot.
But no, I would not flip a coin. 10 billion or die instantly. Yeah, that's come on, that's 50-50.
Yeah, because my life goal isn't to get to 10 bill. You know.
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
Yeah, like take a foot or get a robot foot.
Yeah.
Basically, if I lose, then I lose an appendage. I'm gonna try to replace it with something robotic. But I'm gonna be like, "Yo, dude, I lost my leg. I got chopped off in a alley in a dice game." Flipping coins and shit,
or
bro.
10 Billy.
Yeah, I need you to hook up a robot leg like immediately. You'd be like, "Whoa, dude, that's wild." At some point, someone would do it. Then you'd be on Dr. Phil, and you'd be like, "What made you flip the coin? Why was money more important than your feet?" Like it'd be something along that, and you'd be like, "Hell yeah, bro. Fuck you, Phil."
The Iron Ape Tyson.
Yeah.
He thinks Oprah is a terrible person.
I think Oprah's a terrible person.
Yeah, he does too.
Yes.
And then he included Dr. Phil, and I was like, whoa, Dr. Phil's my boy.
No.
And, Joseph does a good impersonation.
No, I don't fuck with Dr. Phil either. I've heard from people who know him that he's like a huge dick. It's like the Sticks dad, like indirectly knows him through like a circle. He's from Irving, so he lives in Irving, so he's from the Metroplex.
Right, I know.
But apparently,
I hung out with his daughter in a jacuzzi.
Supposedly, he's just a big dick. Why were you in the tub with my daughter?
'Cause she got in it and I was in it. I don't know. But I would want my Dr. Phil to be an asshole.
No, but see, the fact that Oprah unleashed Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz on the world,
don't
cut those people loose. Cut those people
Dr.
loose.
Phil is not Dr. Oz.
Think about crazy interviews that have happened on the Oprah show where it's like the beginning of a spiral. Like it's almost like she's allowed some people to spiral, like Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, and he was like, "I'm in love with this girl," and jumping on the couch, all that wild shit. Like she just let that shit happen, man.
Isn't that funny though that like him jumping on the couch like was like shocking to America, but it's like,
well, but it's because
Trump's out here committing rape and shit.
Well, Jesus, but no, I'd say that what made it weird is that he'd been dating her for like 2-3 weeks or some shit. It's not like they've been hanging out for very long. It's like they just started hanging out. So he was on some Scientology like super surge, like on some L. Ron Hubbard blood or something. They shot his ass up and he ran out there and was on like the smoking the ashes of Xenu or some shit, dude. Like freebasing,
Dude,
freebasing Thetans, bro. That's what he was doing. And then he went on Oprah, and Oprah's just like, yeah, dude, like hit that shit harder, bro. Get
he
out
was
there.
he was rolling bowls as they call it.
Yeah, tell
I
me,
saw some meth head
yeah,
rap song
yeah.
called "Rolling Bowls" on TikTok.
tell me, tell me about tell me about like yeah, tell me about this Dawson's Creek chick and what the fuck y'all are doing. He's just like, I'm in love with her. She was in disturbing behavior. I fucking love her. And she was just like, yeah, hit that shit, bro. Like, let's go. Oprah is she's got darkness to her. There's no way.
Oh, okay, because she's black.
No, just like Tyler.
Darkness, everybody,
Just
dark.
like Tyler Perry's got to have some darkness to him, dude. Somebody tried to rip off.
But okay, but Tyler Perry was never
He tried to buy BET, dog. He
okay,
tried to
but he
buy
wasn't.
BET from the white people that own it, and they told him no.
I
But he
didn't
tried.
expect anything from Tyler Perry. Like, in fact, I got a line where I'm like, "This ain't a Tyler Perry fucking presentation."
Yeah, but everything's a Tyler Perry presentation.
No,
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that, dude. When you're trying to go spend like offer $2 billion to buy BET, that's wild. Tyler Perry's got a fuck ton of money, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I'm aware.
But to accumulate that much money, like back in the day, somebody made fun of Medea or tried to rip him off, or there was a competitor. There was like a Medea competitor, and
Well,
like
he was just ripping like Martin Lawrence off.
and
Like, what do you
Tyler
mean?
Perry. And no, I'm saying
Or Eddie Murphy.
maybe he poisoned Martin Lawrence, and when Martin Lawrence started losing it, that was actually Tyler Perry. That's a conspiracy right there. I'm just saying, Tyler Perry like beat some people up, like dressed up as Medea, being like, "Hey, quit fucking with my brand, dog." Just to be where is that? Just like Oprah's.
But that
Just
no,
to be
no.
as big to be as big as Oprah is, or be as big as Tyler Perry is. At a certain point, you reach a level where like you're going to do things that might be morally or just ethically bad, and to get ahead and to devour your competition, it becomes like like same with Fox News or anything. Whenever they do things,
No. If you have no talent, like fucking Tyler Perry, and you want to make a couple billion dressing up like an old lady, like just saying stupid shit, then you might have to do like evil stuff. But when you're Oprah and you just dropping truth bombs left and right,
yeah, but now what I'm saying is Tyler Perry now owns his own like big massive studio, and he can do and shoot whatever the fuck he wants, and he
mm.
produces tons of stuff for people. He's reached a level where it's laughable.
Well,
And
he had to
Oprah,
do that because if he tried to sell his movies to a normal studio, they'd be like, "Get the fuck out of the
I'm
room."
saying Oprah probably drove around in like a Chrysler town and country in the suburbs, and like broke up small book clubs of moms and like beat them up, dispersed them, and then to just promote her own book club, and that's how her book club got big. I think she started small, some
Just
grassroots movement.
consolidating book clubs.
Yeah, just like running around, be like, look, if anybody's gonna be telling you what books to read, it's gonna be me. Quit fucking with my shit. No clubs in my territory, and they're like, oh fuck, bro.
No, dude, she had the platform on national
And then
television 5 fucking days a week,
and
like
the
where all she had to say was, "I got a book club,"
and
and
Dr.
that's
Oz
all.
is over there like prescribing him shit and fucking people up. Dr. Phil's out there being just like with a bat or some shit, bro. I'm just saying, Stedman's definitely driving. He's too scared to get out of the car. He's like, I'm not
Stedman.
getting out. And Oprah's just sitting there in the back seat looking through the window. Dr. Phil's like, so I hear you got a book club.
God damn, dude.
Why do you feel the need to have a list of books that y'all read chronologically at the same time?
Connection.
Oprah's got great books.
The best books. Nobody
It's
has
like
books like us.
smashing their pumpkins and shit with the bat.
The Bible is my favorite book,
It was,
except for the Art of the Deal.
and I could see him. Oh, dude, imagine Dr. Phil rolling up in like his cheesy ass suit with his jacket, but then he like takes it off and rolls his sleeves up before he's like getting all physical, bringing up his book club.
You know, it pops open. Not a Bud Light, I guess.
Man, he's got suspenders. He's got suspenders. Why are you gonna make me do this?
I'd like to hang out with Dr. Phil.
Depends,
Okay,
depending on the circumstances, yes.
right. All right. Therapy question number 2. Would you rather have multiple save points throughout your life you could restart at, or have New Game Plus, where after you die, you start your life over with all the knowledge and skills you've acquired.
Hmm. See, the restart would be good because you could have save points.
Yeah.
So you could go back to a certain point where you saved, and like you could
Like,
change.
any day that you're like, damn, my life is good right now, boom, save it. And then if anything fucks up, you're just right back there and
Well, you would
just
have to if you had because you have multiple saves. You would want to have them at like certain periods, so you'd want to have them at pivotal moments. So you'd want to be able to
that's what
go
I'm
back.
saying.
Yeah, you'd want to
Yeah.
be able to go back to not. Yeah, I guess like yeah, my life is really
No,
good, or like
right.
I do it on a calendar. I'd be like, okay, I'm doing it on like at this age, at this age, at this age, so I could have a catalog and I could go back if I want, however far back I
No,
wanted.
I wouldn't make it like that. I wouldn't structure. I would just be mindful of that I have save points and that, when I'm like, this is a good place I'm at in my life for a save point, but because like, some ages could be just fucking terrible or just not necessary to repeat.
Yeah, but I mean, there'd be certain times where if you could go like yeah, I mean, but there'd be I think that you'd be able to see where how things change and branch based off of decisions you change on certain moments in a timeline, so you could like
Right, but like sometimes you'll go back like, once, twice, whatever to that save point to the point where you perfect it. So then you're never going back to that save point again, really, even though it's still there. And then and then from there, once you perfect that, now you got a save point that you can test out, you know.
dude
But
dude
if you think about
you'd be
this, if you
rich as shit though because you'd just be investing money and stuff too. You'd be hawking money, dude. You'd wait for there some
yeah, that's true.
big
That's true.
spike in something, and you'd be going back like every like 2 years. You'd just be going back and like, buying more and buying more. Yeah, I know exactly what you'd be doing, bro.
Well, but I mean, the thing where you start your life over with all the knowledge and skills you've acquired, is that just one time?
That would have to be. That's a whole fresh reset, and that's like prestige mode.
But does that just happen every time you die? Because then at that point, then why don't you just do that?
Well, yeah, then you'd
If
have infinite.
but it's yeah, I guess it's them. This reminds me of, okay, on a shampoo bottle, on the directions, it says at the end, it says repeat. I'm telling you, for well into my 20s at least, if not 30s, it confused me because I'm like, well, if you're reading the directions and it just says repeat at the end, so you go to the beginning of the directions and you hit repeat, and now you're just endlessly shampooing your hair.
That's fair.
But then I realized, no, you just repeat once.
Yeah.
It doesn't say repeat the whole thing. It just says repeat. Why? I don't know. It kind of does say repeat the whole thing, so I don't know. But that used to bother me.
It says like repeating. Like you're like, wait, this isn't a number. Why does that bar over?
Right.
This doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. And then I'm like, to the point where psychologically it affected me to where I've never washed my hair twice.
So you could do something where you have infinite. So you have save points, but when you die, you die.
Right.
And then so that means that you could go back in a save point and something else could happen and it kills you and then that's it. So you could have gone back to being like 22 like 50 times and relived that and da 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 and gone through that cycle, but you could die at 24 because something could happen and that's just it. That would have to be it. And then on the other one, I think you just get one full go through and then you get to go through a whole cycle again. So that means
Yeah. So you get like a dry run,
yeah.
and
So
then
yep,
keep all the knowledge and
yep.
then start.
Yep. So that means if you die in that scenario, you do come back, and that is a second run. Regardless of when you die, you would retain the small knowledge that you'd acquired up until that point. So if you died at 18, you would come back as like a 1 year old baby, but you would know
Okay.
everything
You
you
could
knew
fuck shit up.
up
You could
until you
fuck shit up.
yeah.
You could set your life up real good if you're 18 years old, smart as a 1 year old. Like, then you're crushing. Like, you're just all crushing school, getting a full ride to wherever the fuck you want to go.
Yeah, you'd probably be a great
You're
athlete
setting
because
it
you would
up. Yeah.
understand sports, and if you even did anything remotely extracurricular, that was good. So if you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna do boxing," and you were a boxer, you'd be coming out as some like 8-year-old kid competing in like Pee Wee Golden Gloves, just like working people like some 18-year-old kid. Bro, that'd be
Yeah.
wild. You
And
would
then think
dominate.
about
You
like
would dominate.
because because you have all this knowledge that you could then be learning new things instead of having to learn those things that everybody else is learning when they're growing up. So now you're just like exponentially going to be smarter because, you know, you're
You'd have all the time in the
you could
world.
be 90 years ahead of the game,
Yeah, because
depending on how long you live.
well, yeah, because basically by the time they put you and you were able to like read and write, you would already know. So they'd be like, "Whoa, this kid's smart." They would accelerate you so quick. You'd be one of those kids that's on like Australia
The
60
news.
minutes. Like not they'd be
Yeah.
like you're not cool enough to be on the US 60 minutes, but you'd be an American on the Australian 60 minutes.
I don't think so. An American 10-year-old who can do college
Let's say
level.
Australian 60 Minutes is lit, bro. They have
Nah, dude,
they
that's
have
bullshit.
wild no, they have wild shit on Australia. Australia's insane.
Well,
Um,
is it still 60 minutes in
yeah,
Australia,
yeah,
or
yeah.
is it
It's 60 minutes.
like four and a half kangaroos?
No, it's 16 minutes.
I'm just kidding. Australia is like one of the top listeners to the
Yeah,
pod.
dude. Why are
Shout
you
out.
talking shit? I'm like love. I'm giving a mad
Well,
love
because
and
it's
everything.
called talk shit. I feel like that they would be disappointed if I didn't talk a little shit. It's like an honorary.
Honorary.
Yeah, like you've made it if your country's been shit talked on the pod.
Yeah, Lithuania. Fuck you. Just thought I'd throw that out
Our
there.
latest country, shout out Ethiopia.
Yeah, Ethiopia, dude. Let's go.
That's wild. That's our sixth African country.
We are up to 6 now.
Yeah,
Mudafoka. Let's go. That's awesome, though. I'm excited. We're taking over, dude.
that's right. That's like the furthest country to the north, Egypt. We got
But there's,
furthest country to the east,
we just gotta make
Ethiopia,
sure
and the South Africa.
any African countries. I just don't want it to be like a strong Wagner Group presence whenever if they're
Well,
listening.
the
to it.
Wagner Group doesn't exist anymore.
Well, the small factions. There
Yeah,
have
it's
to be.
been like
Dude, there's
it's like dismantled.
well dismantled. So, but that's what I'm saying is there's like wild dudes somewhere in the jungle with a lot of guns
Oh,
and gold. Like that's like going on, and they
I
have
know,
nothing to do, and they're like, "This
but
is my
been,
jungle."
there's been like 6 coups in the last like couple years. Like just recently, it's Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, all coups like this year.
Oh yeah, cooing it up.
Sudan's back in the civil war.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, but between those, the multiple save points is nice.
Yeah, I like both options. I'll flip the coin.
Because you can like have a save point where it's like, all right, I'm gonna choose to move out of state, take this job, take this chance, da da
Take a
da,
risk.
save, right, and then save there, and then go see what it does. If it blows up and it fucking sucks, you can go back and see what the other route is, and you could always still go back and see what the other route is. You would get the opportunity to experience both sides of all of your decisions.
Yeah, you can swing for the fences multiple times, uh, without any risk.
Yeah,
Or yeah.
like when you're a
But guess
kid,
what?
you could go.
You could do that in real life too. Just a lot of people are scared.
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying like you could have moments where it's like, okay, when you're a kid, like I'm gonna go fight this kid. He's always talking shit. Save point,
Right.
and then go and maybe you get your ass beat, and then you go back in time and go to the save, and you choose not to fight him. And you're
I
like,
wouldn't do it like that, dude, because maybe getting your ass beat is the best lesson you could
yeah,
have
but
right there.
you still would get your ass beat, so it would be a humbling experience. You'd go back and you'd be like, oh man, I want to go whip his ass, but I'd get my ass beat. I'm not as tough as I think I. You would realize that you're not as tough as you think you are in that moment because you would choose to go fight him. You would just get your ass beat. You'd have the whole opportunity to get embarrassed and have everybody laugh at you or whatever
Well,
the
no, no,
fuck
no,
it
no,
is.
no, because that's you don't. I don't think you still retain the knowledge you go back to the wherever you were at that time.
No, there has to be some retaining of knowledge. If you retain knowledge in one, you retain knowledge in the other. So you'd have to. So that's what I'm saying is the bone. If it's just like, oh, I go back to the save point where I know that I saved, but I'll forget everything that I went through. I don't like that.
No, no, you remember your life,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is if you
but
were
you'll
like,
forget everything that you went through up and like from the wherever you're going, the save point and forward.
no, I think you got to be able to retain what happened on the save point going forward.
No, you're like 5 years down from the save point, and you're like, dude, this shit sucks. I'm going back, and then you just don't remember. Well, I guess you should. I guess yeah, you're right.
You would
Because
have
then
to.
how
That's
would
what I'm
then
saying
you would
is
just do the exact same
that's what
thing.
I'm saying is so you would be more level headed because if I chose to go fight some dude, got my ass beat, but did a save before it, everybody saw it. Everybody saw me get my ass beat. I would get my ass kicked in a fight, but I'd go back to the save point, and then you wouldn't go fight that guy. You'd be like, I'm gonna get the shit kicked out of me if I go fight that guy, and you would know that. So you would learn that lesson, and you'd be able to like correct that mistake. It's the whole point of the save point, right? So you'd be able to be like, oh no, I saved, I'm gonna go back. So you wouldn't want to be careless with it like that, but if you were aware of it, you would almost do it like that.
So, well, I wouldn't see. I wouldn't do it like with like situations like that.
Or it would have to be
Or
you have
like
to
I asked
kick
this
in at a
girl.
certain
I asked
age.
this girl to prom, and she didn't say no. Never happened to me.
Well, but I'm saying, or it would be something where you would go, you couldn't use the saves until you were a certain age. So until
No,
you
no, no, no,
no,
no.
because then you could because if you knew that you could do save points, then you'd be doing saving on stupid shit when you were like five,
No, because
six.
because your subconscious is fully developed, and by the time you're 8, and so everything that happens from 0 to 8 is your subconscious for the rest of your life. So if you want like a full restart, go back to 5 or 4 or whatever.
No, I mean I think that I think I the multiple save points would be great.
That's what it says in the question.
Yeah, multiple save points, but the like prestige mode would be like the second run would be wild. But I think you could accomplish the same thing in the save points,
Right.
but you only get one shot.
Especially if you have a save point when you're like 5 and you go till you're like 80 and then just hit reset, and then you have all the knowledge just like you would on the recreate.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Or
You could
yeah.
you could do save points, and you could always go back to and be like, okay, I saved whenever I was like 28, and I took this chance and took this random ass job, and you could live that job till you were like 50, and then just
I know, but
go
are
back,
you
and then you could go follow the other
you're
journey.
probably more terrified of death than the normal person.
Yeah, you would be.
It's
You'd
like
be super
you're like
cautious.
because you have the ability to go back.
You'd have the
It,
ability to experience more and more and more, so you'd be super
so what
cautious.
you just build a complex, and then you just keep every day going back to the day before, because just to stay alive, just because you know that will keep you alive.
No, I know there's no. I don't know about
Uh,
that.
yeah, well,
Maybe,
Okay, okay, should we move on?
yeah, maybe that's a good one. That was Hey, I like. Cheers for you. That was a good
Oh,
therapy
thank you.
question.
You know why I knew it was gonna be? Because everyone's good that I put in homes,
Oh, okay, my bad.
except for the ChatGPT era.
Yeah,
It
well, the Chat
shall not
GBT
be.
area was good, but it went to shit pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll suppress that. Change history.
Yeah.
Okay. Therapy question number 3. Would you rather add 50 years to your lifespan and become a ghost upon death, or reduce your lifespan and be reincarnated continuously? Adding
Hmm.
50 years is too much. Like, you know?
Yeah, because what shape am I gonna be in?
Exactly.
Now, being a ghost would be tight as fuck.
No,
I
but
think it
not.
would be if with given certain guidelines. I think it'd be cool if you got to decide what phase of yourself you came back as. So if you could be like, oh, I'm an old man, or I'm younger, or I want to be like when I was, at my peak, or when my looks were the best. I'd be like, I want to be like like 9 and just ADHD to the fucking max and not be like like scare them, but like fuck with people and like just be this like
No, no. You are the ghost when you die.
so whatever I'm like when I die is when
So
I'm a
50
ghost.
years plus what your
Nah,
normal lifespan.
then reincarnation. That's lame. I want to be some geriatric ghost, old
Yeah,
whistly black man. Like,
yeah.
but nah, bro. If I could,
It's like how they say for a fact that the first person to live to 150 is already alive.
it's already been
Now,
born. It's true.
yeah, already been born. Yep.
I've seen the math.
Yeah.
They put it out.
I've seen the charts, the
Yeah,
stars.
they did it. Yeah, they
I've
showed
seen
it
the
all.
pattern. I've seen the pattern.
They showed the work. The paperwork is real, you guys.
That's right. Now, for me, that like, because I was having this conversation with the Iron Ape over the weekend, and he's like, I don't want to live to like 110 because like your life's shit, and I'm like, no, like by the time that we get to like 100, like the technology will be such that it like because people are living longer, there will then be a market for longevity, like being able to function later in life, and then it will just get better and better and better. So like you'll be able to like
So,
have a great life.
so you're trying to say that like the 50 years added to your lifespan, if you were
Not
able,
in this case. In this case, that doesn't apply because you're just randomly getting extra 50 years, not because technology got you there, right?
yeah,
Not
but
because healthcare got you there. So therefore, like they're not prepared to handle you at 130, you know?
yeah.
But okay.
But look, I'd be only time it, like I said, there's guidelines to where it'd be cool to be a ghost, and if I think if you became a ghost, you should be allowed to decide what era of yourself you come back as. I'm not saying that's true for this scenario, but if you got to pick what version of yourself you came back as a ghost, that would be awesome.
Okay,
But
so like like what like frame it this way, like which Taylor Swift era would you want to come back as a ghost?
if I was a Taylor, oh well, it'd be original. It'd be country Taylor Swift.
Okay, well it's not called country era.
Well, I mean, I guess it's just original. I'd be love story Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that's yesterday.
You were singing it yesterday?
Yeah, trying to, and I saw that there's no Romeo and Juliet. That's it. Then I just keep saying that all day.
Boom.
Yeah, that's all you need when it comes to the Swift. That's all you need is a little bit.
A little Swift, a little
A,
Shakespeare.
a scotch goes a long way. So
Mm-hmm.
remember that. A
Mm-hmm.
scotch of the Swift. Whoo, that's sweeping.
That's a gift.
Yeah, I'd rather be continuously reincarnated but have a shorter lifespan. Because then what? Oh man, I'd live till I'm 55 and then I die and then I come back and I have to live my life all over again and then I die at 55. That'd be tight. Just like kill me. Like let me be reincarnated at like the age when my social security's maxed out and kicks in. Boom. And you know what? Hit me off. Roll that shit over to the next one. So like, bro, this dude's just got
No,
unlimited.
no. But one of my spiritual counselors, Doug Randak, is a big believer that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and that like after you die, like you're gonna bounce out of here, or you're gonna get reincarnated because whatever karmic like wheel that you're on like hadn't been solved yet, and so you get reincarnated until whatever that is gets solved, and then you leave the earth.
Hmm.
But to him, he was kind of making it seem like it was like that we were spiritual beings, like, and we chose to come down here and be a human for a bit.
That'd be tight. My
So,
spiritual self is wild, bro. He's stupid. He's getting his shit together.
something to think about. Okay, final therapy question. Therapy question number 4. Would you rather get slapped by a different random 12-year-old every morning at 7 a.m. sharp, Joseph, or slap a random 7-year-old every night at 11 p.m.?
I guess gets hit by the 12-year-old because if I'm slapping 7-year-olds at 11 p.m., it's not gonna last very long.
That's exactly what
Someone's
I
gonna
was thinking, and then I was thinking that, but then
okay.
also, so I had to frame it to where, like, you know, even more to get around this, and I'm like, okay, the 12-year-old slapping me at 7 a.m. It's like a wake up call. You probably get used to it.
Yeah, that's just like we don't have kids, but if we did, I'm sure it goes something like that. We're just a
But
little bit.
12 is like sixth grade, like where like I was playing baseball and like football. Like I could probably slap the shit out of you, like especially if I was doing it every morning, like getting good at it.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't be slapping random 7-year-old kids at 11 p.m. at night. They just like coming out, like just showing up at the door, and you're just slapping
Yeah, I
them, and
know,
they go
I
on
know.
their way. Somebody who's not aware of that is gonna see it and call that shit
Right,
in. Like
exactly.
someone's ring camera is gonna catch that so quick, man. That'd be
Right.
national news. Like black
Yeah.
man slapping kids, and they'll be like, "Oh, you the slap bandit." Who who is
Slap bandit.
who is this man who is like out here just lock your kids up? All the kids are locked away at 10:45. You're climbing in windows just to slap kids. Nah, man, I can't live my
The
life like
Kinder
that.
slapper.
Yeah, I can't live my life like that. And seven's way too. Now 12, when I slap a 12-year-old, 12-year-olds nowadays say
No,
some
you're
wild
no, no.
shit.
Okay, but
Maybe.
you're not. You're
No, I
getting
know, but that's too small. 12, it'd be like, ooh, maybe.
Oh yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
a,
I would definitely slap a 12-year-old. Are you kidding? And then and like when nobody's looking, and then just be like, "What?" Like,
no, I don't think you can do that. But I do feel like
I mean,
I feel like if I walked by a pack of 12-year-olds right at this point, I think that like two or three of them would like start yelling at me or try to jump me. I don't know. These kids nowadays, maybe man, they're wild. You know.
dude, I have you seen Baby Boy when they
Yes,
line?
yeah,
Yeah, they stole his bike and then they line them all up and spank their
yeah.
asses with their belts. That's what I do
That's
on
what.
some pootie tank shit.
Yeah, that's also how you. Someone calls that in. This guy's out here slapping a bunch of
12-year-olds.
12-year-olds at the mall. He's got them lined up
Dude,
against
you
the
used to be
wall.
allowed to do that. Like the neighbor used to be allowed to slap their neighbor's
Dude,
kids,
that
like
would
back in
be.
the 50s.
Dude, dispatch would be so
Yeah.
lost.
So
They'd
basically,
be so lost on that call. There's some man up here. He's got a bunch of kids lined up. He's hitting them with their belt outside the fucking mall. They'd be like, "What?"
well, yeah, actually, in Baby Boy now, what happens is no, they're punching each one in the face one by one,
Yeah,
and then he stops one like the guy Omar Epps from hit it. No, not Omar Gooding
yeah.
from hitting one kid, and then instead he pulls out his belt and spanks him. So like embarrasses him more than getting knocked out. Just to correct the record on Baby Boy, yeah, you know, Jody. um, yeah. So you basically you just have to take the tax. The tax is getting slapped by a 12-year-old,
Yeah,
or
you got to get
yeah,
slapped. Yeah,
the alternative is committing felonies
yeah. It's like is slapping a bunch of random
every day,
kids, and then
every day.
like there'll be manhunts for you.
And it's how easy is it to find you because you do it at the exact same time every day.
Little Remington Lee was just in his room playing Fortnite, and this man just came in the window and just slapped him clear across the face. It was
And
11. It was
I'll tell
11
you what,
p.m. sharp.
tell you what, he was acting like a pill that day, and I actually enjoyed,
Ooh.
or I'm glad that he did.
If anybody's gonna slap my child, it's gonna be me. All right.
And then she slaps the child
Yeah,
right there.
she's like,
Boom. Shut up.
yeah. He like walks up like, "Mom." He's like, "Shut up! Can't you see I'm talking to the news?"
Ooh.
There's a cross in the background. Like, oh Jesus.
Just the Rick James of slapping 7-year-olds.
No, you can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful saying shit like that, man.
All right, y'all. So we are done with the therapy questions. We are moving on to the current events. We've got 4 topics for the night. First one, rise and fall of a parenting influence.
So have you heard about this shit?
No.
So this woman, Ruby Frank, and she had 8 passengers. This
Well,
is
real quick, from the BBC by Matea Bubala.
yeah. So this woman, Ruby Frank, she's in Utah. On late August in Utah, a 12-year-old boy covered in wounds with his ankles taped ran to a neighbor's house asking for food and water. He escaped a nearby home by climbing through a window and running away with the duct tape still on his ankles. So this woman, Miss Ruby Frank, she has a YouTube channel which has like over 1 million followers. She has millions of followers, and she's a mom influencer where she tells people basically how to raise their kids. And right now she's under arrest for 6 felony counts of child abuse. Like, she had taken her kids' beds, furniture, and she would do this wild stuff where they would get reported on YouTube for some of the things that she'd done, because they were like, that's like borderline child abuse, like taking up her kids' homework and computers and laptops, putting them in a trash bag and being like, you guys either have to pay for these to get them back, or you have to do the cash equivalent for us to get them, for you us to give them back to you in chores. And if you don't do it by the end of the day, we're throwing all this stuff away. And the kid's like, dude, my homework's in there. Like, what are you talking about?
Is
Like,
it weird that it starts off with a 12-year-old? Like, I didn't even.
bro. So she was behind the 8 Passengers YouTube channel, which launched in 2015, a boom of popularity. It was our family vlog channel. The genre they were making money on the platform. A year later, her videos gained thousands of views. Like, momfluencer, that's so weird. These videos were in a window into her lifestyle, showing a typical Mormon suburban family, homeschooling, cooking and eating and chatting away. So she was a mom. She has 6 kids, and she would homeschool them with her husband.
Kevin Frank.
Lose the privilege to eat. She would take away their privileges to eat. Some of the shit, I'm like, my mom did some of this stuff. But yeah, so she got turned in whenever this guy, one of her sons escaped, and he was, I guess, like, restrained. She'd taken away her teenage son's bed, and he was sleeping on a beanbag on the floor. And they live in like this huge fucking house in this really nice neighborhood. The kid escapes through, like, I guess a window on the front porch, runs to the neighbor's house. They call the cops. Cops go into the house, and they arrest her on six counts of felony child abuse. And the husband's not living there; they're no longer together. But her and then this other woman both got arrested on counts of child abuse.
This is what she said. She said that her 6-year-old needed to go hungry after forgetting to take her lunch to school. Hopefully, nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch, because then she's not going to learn, she told the camera. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're
So
like,
this is like a white Mormon lady in Utah.
well, and this is more common than people realize, especially, like, it's really wild. I guess there's videos of her going up to, like, her kid's school because there was a TikTok dance or something that was done at the school, and, like, freaking out. Like, this woman's batshit crazy, and
She looks like Elizabeth Holmes.
and has been for a while. But there's a lot of people that just completely bought into her shit. In a 2020 video, he revealed that his bedroom had been taken away for 7 months, and said he was sleeping on a beanbag after playing pranks on his sibling. According to Frankie in the same video, her son had been shown he was unable to manage a bedroom, and was offered alternatives like a guest bed or inflatable mattress. There's videos where she's like being so fucking weird, and her kids are just like, "Oh my god, you're the worst mom ever."
And her daughter, her oldest daughter, said justice is being served, because she's been trying to raise concerns about her estranged family with police and CPS, Child Protection Services, for years. And uh, Ruby Frank's sister said this needed to happen in a joint statement, saying they had previously kept quiet for the sake of the children involved. Well, that's not what you kept quiet about, the children getting abused for the children. That doesn't make sense. But it was her friend too got arrested. Hildebrand. She got charged for 6 as well.
That's fucking wild, dude. I mean, there's what was her name? Tammy Faye. There was a woman, she had some, like, weight loss, Christian based church, And then she died. They died in a plane crash.
Tammy Faye Baker or
Yeah,
something.
Tammy Faye Baker. They was that no. Tammy Faye Baker is Jim Baker's first wife, and she died. She died differently. That's Jim Baker who sells like the buy this 50-gallon jug of queso for the apocalypse. But she's like there's a documentary on HBO about her, and you'll know it because she just is like creepy thin and has this crazy fucking hair. But she was into like disciplining like stuff like this where it's like a religious base, like okay, if you disrespect your parents, like I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, or I'm gonna lock you in a room and do stuff like that. And that's what she'd been doing. But it's insane that in the turn she's running like an influencer channel about telling people how to raise their kids, and she's duct taping her kids up to where they have to escape and run to the neighbors. I mean, I was like really did a deep dive into this because the whole concept of it is mind blowing. And so she's been doing this. People have been reporting her and reporting her. So there's a whole chunk of a community of people, like thousands of people that have watched this woman that have been screaming this for years. I mean, she's been doing it since 2015. She's had this channel. 2 of her kids are gone, so there's 4 kids that still live with her. And CPS took her kids. The husband, they've been separated for like 13 months, and his lawyer released a statement. And he's just like, I basically I want nothing to do with that bitch. But in the old videos, he's pretty crazy too. Like, he's just as nutty as she is. And whenever this happened, they didn't give the kids to him. They like took
Right.
them. They took them. So I mean, there's something going on
Yeah,
there.
because
He's
it's only
not-
been 13 months, but this shit's been going on since
Oh,
2015. You said.
yeah, 2015. She's at the channel.
Right.
But
So that's eight years, and he's been gone for an eighth of that.
yeah, crazy. Crazy. She said she's made millions. She left that lucrative world. Like,
Yeah, I mean, she was fucked. Maybe that's why she finally got fucked, because if you're a divorcee in the Mormon Church, you're like excommunicated, and so she finally got separated with her husband. They're like, oh well, now we can tell on her.
well, now they didn't want to be the ones to do it because they're close to her. And I'm sure that she could just like, she has a legion of followers and fans that, no, people are crazy. Like, that you could send if you're like, oh, this person, and they're trying to tear
Would that prevent you from doing it, from ratting her out? Like, are you kidding?
Well, I think that for some of them, yeah. I mean, not one of us, we don't give a shit, but some people care about
Right.
what
Those,
people think.
those people have a moral dilemma in their lives.
In their TikTok momfluencer universe, maybe they don't want to kick up any dust.
Well,
So they need a normie.
Mr. Goody Two Shoes kicking up dust.
So they need a normie, someone out like a TikTok dadfluencer to turn her in.
I don't know. There's a lot of secrecy and shit around the Mormon community. Like, just watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake. Seriously.
Yeah, no,
So I'm just saying. So like they're all used to like being hush hush about like problematic things within the family.
yeah. So the boy was taken to the hospital and treated due to lacerations from being tied up with a rope, bro.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And this bitch is out there posting videos while she's got a kid tied up with ropes, talking about how people need to raise their kids. That is the wildest shit. And people are like, she's great.
She had to make a video. What was she supposed to do?
How many? But like, no, on a serious tip though, like, I mean, how many other kids were abused because of the stupid shit that this woman was teaching?
I mean,
Like,
sounds
right?
like
Like,
a lot.
there's
Like,
a-
I mean,
there's
didn't you
like-
say she has a lot of followers?
Yeah, 2 million followers, 2 million
my
YouTube
God.
subscribers. So they sent 2 million YouTube subscribers. They've sent this bitch 2 plaques about her, about people just following her, because you get a plaque when you get like 100,000 and whatever.
Dude, those are bots, man. She's a bot.
Nah, man, that's like crazy Mormon moms being like, see, Ruby says that it's okay for me to kick you with soccer cleats. So
God damn.
clean up your room or get the boot. It's like, bro.
She's like the Karen, evil Karen.
Yeah,
I guess all Karens are evil, but
she's an evil bitch, dude. She's like sorcerer level. She's like like in the Ku Klux Klan. What is it, like Grand Wizard? She's a Grand Wizard. She's a Grand Wizard Karen, dude. She's up there. She's got like all the other Karens are in some like I don't know pumpkin spice robe or something like that. She's up there in like the sequin one, like the pink sequin robe up there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Next to a big burning cross made out of I don't know. I was gonna say tampons, but I was like, that's not fair. That's like, no, it's kind of low class.
Right.
So then I was like, what can I say?
No, magic underwear. The Mormon magic underwear.
Oh no, they can't burn those. Those don't burn. That's why they're magic.
But she's the evil Grand Wizard Karen. She does what she wants.
No, I think it'd be something like.
My kids can't have the magic underwear.
No, it would be like a cardboard cutout of like Tyler Perry or something.
Or Obama.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be a hybrid. It'd be like oh, they think that they're all one and the same. He's a shapeshifter.
Oh yeah. It's Obama dressed up as Medea.
Obama dressed up as Medea.
Yeah.
Playing.
Odea.
Yeah. Playing Larry the Cable Guy. So it's like I like him. That's offensive. He's my favorite comedian, man. How dare you look like the blue collar comedy tour? Who do you think you are?
When I hear should I tie my kids up with a rope, I say get her done.
All right, next article.
Allegedly.
It was shoes on, nor boarding pass or ID, but airport security forever changed on 9/11. When I was reading through this, I was talking to someone.
Hold on.
Well,
from NPR.
Oh yeah, from
David Shaper, and it's a article about airports before 9/11.
Yeah, well, it was shoes on. Yeah, an article by NPR and KERA, Channel 13. Brought to you by viewers like you. Hey, let's go. Yeah, I was discussing with someone reading this that I'm thankful that I got to experience what airports were like beforehand without realizing that it was going to change for fucking ever. But it starts off, it's hard to fathom that we used to be able to arrive at the airport just minutes before the flight, keep your shoes on and coats, so we went through a simple metal detector. Virtually anyone could go right to the gate without a boarding pass or even showing ID. And that's true. You did not have to get to the airport a quadrillion hours before. Certain airports, sure, like LAX and certain places sucked still. But I mean, you could just breeze through the airport. And yeah, you could pick people up from the airport, walk right up to the gate, go with them to luggage claim and pick up their bag. I mean, that's what...
Yeah, I was just talking about this with my mom, and she said... because my dad's from Philadelphia, but he was going to college in LA with my mom, and she's from LA or Pasadena, but she was going to go to Philadelphia for the first time ever. And like her mom and her sisters came with her, like to the airport, and like we're there at the gate, like with her, and like her cousins like came down, like it was like a big big deal for her to be flying across country, by herself, like at 19 or whatever. But yeah, everybody was there and at the gate with her.
Well, I mean, you could send kids off. I flew a couple times where we like visited my grandparents. My parents would just walk us to the plane. We'd get on the plane. They'd be like, "Peace," and we'd get off the plane. And my grandpa would be standing there like, "Let's go." There was like
so much safer than the alternative,
Oh yeah. You
right
you couldn't send a kid all the way to
to have to walk through all the airport, like to just try to get outside.
And they would let your parents walk you to your seats. So my parents would make sure we were in our seats on the plane. They'd be like, "Hey, these are our kids," and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, like, well, we'll take care of them. Here's some fucking pilot wings. You guys are cool," and they'd be really extra nice because they knew we were kids traveling alone. Like that's some.
You could bring drinks on the plane.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, live your fucking. I used to be ashtrays. I mean, that was probably a dark time. I feel like I'm glad I wasn't. I was glad I wasn't alive for that. But I will say, it was so much easier. And then once after September 11th, that completely changed. Completely changed. It's so wild to think that there's a whole group of people. There's people that work for me that weren't even alive when that happened. Crazy. And that don't even understand like what that world was like beforehand.
Right.
Like I guess this article for me is more meant to.
Hold on. Let's real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out our everybody loves them. TSA. Shout them out. How many terrorist attacks have these fools stopped though? Since 9/11. Zero. Zero. So we've had 22 years of this bullshit. Zero terrorist attacks stopped.
Well, how do
That's
we know?
corruption.
How do we know? Because they've been stopped, and we said we wouldn't know.
No, they would have known if they stopped it. Remember, like the Christmas shoe bomber or underwear bomber, or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
he was like on the plane
Yeah,
already.
he
And
was
they're
already
like,
on the fucking plane. Like it's just his bomb didn't.
some black dude's like, "Yo, bro, why you lighting your shoe on fire, dog? You tripping?" Like
That's
that's
and that's why we have to take our shoes off.
yeah. Now you gotta take our shoes off
How many shoe bombs have they found
because
since then?
nobody was like suspicious of some tall African man in fucking 18-inch platform heels trying to get onto a fucking
On
plane,
Christmas Day.
being like, "Hello, my brother. I am flying all the way to Detroit. Please let me on plane. Oh, these shoes, orthopedic function." Like, no, bro, get the fuck out of here. Nobody stopped that guy. Why is there a wick hanging out of his shoe? Do not worry about that, my friend. That is no problem, no concern of you. He's like,
Yeah, but
okay, get on. Well, whatever, fuck it.
but like part of Bin Laden Bin Laden's strategy was like that what our reaction would be like the downfall, not like that the United States was going to end as a country because they took out the tower. I guess they were trying to hit the White House, but it was like think about the trillions of dollars that we spent the two wars we were in, the TSA, the has like think about just the slowdown of commerce by the TSA in this country, like just by like they're gonna try to up the amounts of scans that they do at the border
Oh, yeah.
and like from like right now I think it's like 10%. They're gonna try to get it to like 70%, and it's like okay, well now like it's gonna cause like add hours and hours to like these trucks commutes that are doing legitimate business like billions of dollars like a day I think like goes over the border.
But they don't care
Southern
about
border.
that. They don't care about that. That's just like an extra way for them to make an extra buck. Now they get to have another fat government thing where they got to fund and they got to get more money from the taxpayers to pump it
No,
into.
no, it's like a technology that upgrade that they're gonna get. But no, I think they do care about that. All I was saying, I wasn't like blaming anybody. I was just saying, oh, that's something I didn't even think about. It's like you're sacrificing like efficiency and commerce and everything by like for safety.
Well,
But
yeah,
but
that's the
the
whole
TS
paradox. Is like if you,
but the TSA, all it is security theater. That's the term.
I used to
It
have a
it's there to make
TSA
you feel
neighbor.
safe.
Used to have a neighbor that was a TSA agent, and we were like always. This is in Austin. I was smoking hella weed all the time, and I was unsure because it looked straight up like a cop, and the uniform was like a mega cop outfit for Austin TSA, but she was chill as fuck. One day I was like, oh, she was like, dude, I work for the TSA. I was like, oh, tight, whatever. Then I started asking 1,000 questions. What can I bring on? What can't I bring? Do you guys look for this? Do you look for that? Like I started like trying to get, I was like I had an inside scoop, you know. And I would hear some wild stories like, dude, somebody tried to come onto the plane with a katana today, or somebody tried to come onto the plane like really stupid shit. Where it's like now, if you haven't either you've never flown before, that's the only excuse you could have for
Well,
whatever.
listen to this. So, I went to PJ's wedding last year, and our boy Danny was there, and him and I were like laughing so much like about how because we both like had noticed the same thing going on, but independently, and it was like that nobody gives a shit anymore. Like people just go into a 7-Eleven, like take a 12 pack, walk in front of the cashier, and just keep walking, and like they just don't care. And like Danny was saying, because he's a tour manager, so he was on tour, and he accidentally left like this giant knife that he has, like an 8-inch like crazy like hunting knife or something that he had, and he just forgot that it was in his bag, and he went to like 7 different airports, and nobody said anything. He was like, you know, like TSA is just like scanning bags, like they don't, and it's true, man. Like it's just there to make you feel like they're doing something.
Yeah, because there's been times where like I was traveling. This was years ago. I was traveling with a girl, and I had like a weed vape or something in my bag, and had it all stashed away. Had nothing on me. Totally got. Actually, I didn't have anything on me, and I got like stopped and patted and searched and everything. We get through, get on the plane. This chick's digging through her bag on the plane, pulls out a fully loaded pipe with weed in it and a lighter, and was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And that got like scanned. Like she had it on her the entire time. So while I was getting patted, this chick had like a whole loaded bowl.
Okay, but what race is the chick?
A little white girl.
Okay, and then the black guy with the front. Like my buddy Victor, shout out. He's from Guatemala. He like we worked together and we would go to like trade shows in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he told me the first time we went, he's like, dude, I always get stopped at TSA every time. And then I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. And then we go through, and I breeze through because I got the complexion for the protection. And then I turn around, I'm like, where's Victor? And then he's over in the corner getting like personally searched. And it happened. He was right every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they definitely profile there. Like it's ridiculous. And like they do like little like tests, like well they'll like put actual guns, but it's the government like seeing if how effective TSA is. So they'll have like agents, undercover go and there's been like times where they didn't get a single gun. All of the guns got through. So it's like they're not good at their job. They've never stopped a terrorist attack, but they're good at like talking shit to you and making you feel. I always get fucking anxiety even when I'm not doing anything. Like when I go to TSA, I'm like, shit, did I leave anything in my bag? And it's like, well, what the hell could I even have? But before we leave this, fun fact: I smuggled like an eighth of marijuana from Texas to Hawaii post 9/11.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had friends who've flown with like an ounce or two in their bag, and they're just like,
Yeah,
they just like could breeze through and scan it.
you know what my dad said?
Because the dogs at the airport are bomb sniffing dogs. They're not
No,
trying.
no, but not, no. Also, my dad says the dogs are at international, like that's what they're there for, international. Because if you're gonna smuggle weed within the country, why would you fly? You would just drive it.
True.
So that it's like they're not looking for
They're hanging outside U-Haul, the Penske place,
right.
outside of Lowe's, being like, "Who's this stoner looking motherfucker with a
Yeah,
U-Haul truck?"
they're not out there trying to catch eighths, like of or like quarters of weed. Like they're like they consider themselves like there to stop terrorism. So yeah, they're not worried about
Yeah.
it. All right, next article.
Bum, bum, bum. We talked about this before. What to know about Florida's classic alternative to the SAT is an NPR article by Juliana Kim. We talked about this previously, but CLT is the classic learning test that Florida has presented as an alternative to the SAT. Um, it's great. He has set out to overhaul
So
the state.
this
The
is
state's,
CLT. Hold
yeah,
on, this is CLT, but they remember they hate CRT, so they just
yes.
made it sound very similar.
CLT is commonly taken by students who are in private schools or homeschooled. Over 200 colleges currently accept the tests, many of which are small, private, or faith-based. The test launched in 2015. On Friday, the governing Florida State University system approved the exam for undergraduate admissions, making Florida the first state in the country to accept it as on a wide scale. Ron DeSantis, who has set out to overhaul the state schools, and fight against what he calls a woke indoctrination. Of course, this is the stupidest shit ever.
Did you notice like they
Well,
didn't say woke once in the Republican debates because they know nobody gives a shit anymore.
what is it? The CLT is a classical educational model. The name suggests it's focused on classical texts like Shakespeare, Aristotle, Jeremy Tate, the founder of CLT. Told by NPR, he hopes to focusing on the classics, which explore topics of human nature, logical reasoning, and lessons from history. We're measuring your ability to read the important texts that have driven the development of history and culture for thousands of years, DeSantis
But
said.
they're not allowed to in Florida, I thought. No, that wasn't DeSantis. That was Jeremy Tate, the founder of CLTs,
Oh,
saying
he's the
this.
one who said that? Oh, okay, Tate
Yeah.
said that. I thought that was DeSantis. But yeah, I mean, well, they just passed it to where they can. CLT is 2 hours, an hour shorter than the SAT or the ACT.
Because Florida.
It's taken online and divided into three sections: verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, grammar, and writing.
Dude, I feel like all Floridians would fail at all of those.
The essay portion of the test is optional.
Of course it is. If you can spell, you can give it a shot, but otherwise, don't worry about it.
They say it's a more rigorous and comprehensive measurement than the SAT or ACT.
Yeah, but it's not.
This
It's
is
it's shorter and more basic, and the essay part is optional.
yeah. You don't have to write if you don't want to. You don't write. Just don't do it. Just don't fill it out, man. It don't count for you. It won't count against you.
A quarter of the math questions appeared below high school grade level, and statistics concepts are not tested.
Dude, should we take the CLT? Can we? We can, right? We could take it. We should take the CLT.
Oh, fuck yeah! I mean, I took the ACT in seventh grade and got invited to an award ceremony at Duke for getting in the top 1% in the entire country. Deal with it.
Well, this is different. This is a better
It's
measurement.
harder. It's harder.
It's harder. It is. It's shorter, but it's harder. And if you want to do the essay, it's optional. So you don't feel like you have to. No pressure.
And the reason why they don't test on statistics, they said, is because they don't test on concepts that require a calculator, unlike the SAT.
I'm not against allowing the use of the CLT. I oppose the use of it at this time because we do not have enough have the empirical evidence to show that this assessment is the same quality as the ACT or SAT. Yeah, it's the at-home Jesus test. It's mind blowing. I mean, obviously this country's crazy, but Florida's going to hell in a handbasket. Last article. It's pretty short. This is what is this? Where does it say who's from? Tim Paget wrote it, and it is on WLRN. I think I found this through NPR. This Monday, September 11th, marks the 50th anniversary of a dark day in Latin American history. The bloody military coup that started the brutal 17-year-long dictatorship of Pinochet in Chile. I didn't realize that it was like that. It was this day.
Yeah, I did because I listened to this podcast called The World Next Week. It comes out every Thursday, and they were saying the U.S. and Chile mark September 11th for very different reasons. But our boy, friend of the pod, fat boy extraordinaire, John Marsh, he's from Chile. And so before the pod, when I saw this was in, I texted him, asked him anything we need to make sure we mention. And he sent me the Caravan of Death, which was a Chilean army death squad that, following the Chilean coup of 1973, flew by helicopters from south to north of Chile between September 30th and October 22nd, 1973. During this foray, members of the squad ordered or personally carried out the execution of at least 75 individuals held in army custody in certain garrisons. The squad killed 97 people, 26 in the south, 71 in the north. But I also heard that they've killed like thousands of people like that, like have just like kind of disappeared. So like it's not like these death squads just kill people and like you just never see them again.
Well, I mean, it starts off
Approximately 3,000 during the 17 years.
Yeah, I mean, we stood on our balcony and watched the jets bomb the Moneda, the presidential palace. That's crazy. So he was a young attorney. It was Platt was a young attorney, young American attorney living in Santiago in '73, and was teaching law. So he's teaching like democracy and democratic law while this fucking right wing military coup just breaks the fuck out. And yeah,
Right, but hold on real quick. So what happened was that instigated it was there was a dictator, and they were like all about the rule of law for especially for a dictator, but they put it to a vote whether the people wanted to continue the dictatorship or not, and then they lost the vote, and they saw they were going to lose it, so they tried to like rig it, and they couldn't, and then they like put a pause on the vote, and that's when the coup happened.
yeah. Because the left-wing Chilean president Salvador Allende, the target of the right-wing military coup, was in there. He would commit suicide inside during this coup. But Platt says the more horrible carnage happens out in the streets when Pinochet's forces hunted down anyone suspected of being an activist. So yeah, basically, the president, the then sitting left-wing president, commits suicide, and they just start murdering people in the streets, just roaming through. Crazy.
Yeah.
And it was all, and we what was our play in that? The CIA helped
Yes. Yeah.
do that.
That was
Yeah.
also mentioned by Johnny Boy. He said to mention the CIA's
Yeah, it
involvement.
was all the CIA. Platy, his wife, worked as in Chile as a U.S. reporter. Says that they ran into a documentary filmmaker, Charlie Holman, at the U.S. Embassy when the coup wore on. He said he'd seen some things he probably shouldn't have and was afraid to go back into the streets. Days later, Horman himself disappeared and was later executed by Chilean security forces. His subject is the story. His story was the subject of the film in 1982. Missing is the title of that film. The coup installed Pinochet as a dictator, and he ruled until 1990. More than 3,000 Chileans were murdered or disappeared under his regime, while tens of thousands were either tortured or in prisons, or both.
Ridiculous.
Dude, that's like, and this is why like a film like Team America or something like that is fantastic. We've fucked up so much people's shit, and we take zero as a country. We take very little accountability for it.
Oh, no, no, no. We all acknowledge that the CIA trying to regime change down in South America, like 50s, 60s, 70s, all backfired, and that's why we try to not do that, I guess.
Well, no, okay, no, we actively try to not do that, but to sit there now, we're like, yeah, okay, we fucked up. We've said that.
Yeah.
We said that like 45 years too late. Because up until then, we're like, nah, what are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking
But
about?
just by the fact
No,
that
that's bullshit.
we
What are you
don't
talking
that we
about?
don't do it like we used to is an acknowledgement of that was not working.
Absolutely, but like I've said before, whenever it comes to some of these issues that we'll have with countries or something, we look at it in through such a small peephole, and they're looking through like a big fucking window and a reason why they don't like us, and we refuse to like actually acknowledge that there's a window. It's like no, 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 no. Look through this keyhole with me, and they're like, nah, dude, fuck you, like, because the ramifications for that country in comparison to ours is like minute. It's like, oh man, we were really shitty back then. Sorry about that.
Well, really, what it was is we were toppling left wing dictators and installing right wing death squads in multiple countries, or right wing heads of state that had death squads, and kind of like giving it a pass. So that was the thing. Like we were just replacing one, piece of shit sociopath murderous for another.
Yeah,
And it's like, how about just stay the fuck out of it,
yeah. Because I mean, that's another democratically elected official that we chose to overthrow and then install someone that we agree.
No, well, he wasn't democratically elected.
I thought Pinochet was elected.
The guy that they toppled
No, not Pinochet. No, the guy that they toppled. He was elected.
was, I thought he was a
Allende?
dictator and that he put it
No,
to a
no,
vote.
no. There was no. There was, but he was. Where was it? Where was it? No, I think Pinochet, Santiago, inside was a controversial left-wing Chilean president Salvador Allende, the target of the right-wing military coup that elected that day by Pinochet. I guess it doesn't really say on this article.
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever it was, we fucked it up worse. But I mean, I feel like we have decent relations with Chile.
Yeah, because they're like, dude, they could fuck up our shit in the middle of the night. They could just slip in and like plug in a thumb drive, and next thing you know, there's like robots take over.
What?
I'd be petrified of fucking with us after we've done some shit like that. And you had 17 years of like a brutal dictator, and it's like all because we helped install him. I wouldn't be that. Be like, I'd be cool with us because I wouldn't fuck with us. That's like not. It's like cooperation by intimidation.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
Just
on brand.
repairing the relationship.
That's on brand.
Moving forward.
That's,
Ain't no future in the past.
yeah. Just let that shit go, man. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. We're cool now. They're just now getting their shit back together. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
thanks for the hard times,
It's like
America.
it's a pretty vibrant country. Like,
No, I know, but it's like thanks for the hard times, America. We're strong. We help other countries build character.
yeah,
That's what we did. Chile, you're welcome.
we're the guy that you thought you could beat up.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nobody's starting to say for that one. You're welcome. Well, what else do you got? That's all I got.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Meditate, bitches.
And don't listen to TikTok moms telling you how to raise your kids. That's a bad idea. Well, 105 heads or tails in the bag. Appreciate y'all listening. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, leave a review, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, whatever. And also, we'll be back again this Wednesday with the other show that we host on this channel, Angry Black Quarterback. So make sure you check that out. But nah, man, I got nothing either. Just y'all be good, be safe, stay out of trouble. And as always, go fuck yourselves.
Shut up.
Recording stopped.
Peace.